Hello everybody, I'm doing a video response today to Gene Murphy, who left a comment about 7 hours ago. And I've only done this, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the past 7 years. But I thought it was an important question in regards to the Mandela Effect, so I thought I'd cover it, along with a few other things, a video I saw recently, and the synchronicities that I've been talking about. So Gene asks, why don't we go to Tom Hanks or Sally Field in this reality, or employees of Oscar Mayer, and have them say, you know, it used to be Meyer, or have Sally say, yeah, I changed my name from Fields, or no, it's always been Field. Gene, you don't seem to understand the Mandela Effect, and no, I don't mean to say that in any negative way, you know, trying to be mean or condescending or anything. You just don't understand what it is. You can't, everything in this reality is what it's always been. That reminds me of this video I saw. Some guy said he used to watch my financial information and then said I went off the deep end, you know, saying I'm seeing these changes, and he doesn't understand any of it. Saying that, you know, he's got his 1611 Bible, and he's saying, well, this hasn't changed, you know, stuff, it said stuff back in 1611. You know, unicorns always been in here, and eating dung and drinking piss, and, you know, all the stuff. It's always been here. The lion, the wolf's always laid down with the lamb, and you know, all the stuff. So you're right. You're exactly right. It's always been that way. Your Bible has not changed. Okay? People are getting so confused with this Mandela Effect, which has totally turned my world upside down. And you know, it's kind of hard to deal with people telling you that you're a liar. I don't get on YouTube to lie. I've been trying to help people on here for years, and to have people trying to call me a liar, saying that I'm trying to deceive people, and then to get them to see this deception, and then to have them turn to their Bible and go, oh, well, God's word's been changed. Can you believe that? I can't be religious anymore. You know, I can't believe in a higher power anymore now. That's not what this is about. Come on, people. I'm not trying to do anything harmful to people. And then there's the people who call this a conspiracy theory. No one's conspiring. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid by anyone to do this. Come, you people are just... I kind of lost it with you people lately. Been trying to hold back and just continue on forward, trying to help the people who actually notice things being different in their mind from the way they are in this reality. But, you know, it's been kind of hard trying to go through and just ignore all the people that have really rude and, you know, really hurtful and mean and conniving, just little comments trying to make you feel like, you know, like there's something wrong with you or something. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with all of you people who are noticing something different. Something has shifted. I knew this was coming for years. Go look at my old videos. 2-3 years ago, I was talking about a coming shift in human consciousness. I knew that this was coming, and I don't know exactly what it is. I understand what's gone on, you know, to a certain degree, but I don't know exactly what's happening. It could be CERN. It could be the two worlds that Dolores Cannon talks about, the two worlds that are separating, the high, you know, the Earth's going to a higher frequency, and some of us are going with it, and some vibrate at the frequency of like a rock, and they're not going anywhere. But there's so many different things that could be going on. And because it seems to affect the Bible, let me rephrase that, the Bible hasn't changed, but because it seems to have something to do with the Bible where our memories of what was in the Bible, I don't, you know, the word piss being in there and people drinking piss, that just doesn't ring a bell being in the Bible. I've read the entire Bible, you know, like I've said before, which doesn't say a whole lot because it's an incredible book and you can read it 1,000 times and still get something new every time. But, you know, all these people coming together that all agree that they don't remember certain things. There's just, it's too big. You know, the people that are saying, oh, well, just because, you know, you don't remember little Dash and Kit Kat, you think you're in a parallel reality. It's so much more than that. There's 200, 300, 400 things that I remember being differently. I remember being different. The map was what put me over the top. The world map looks different. That has nothing to do with little spelling errors and remembering things wrong and didn't pay attention to geography. No, that's not what this is all about. It's not about that. So, I don't know where we go from here. We're just going to have to wait and find out where this leads. But I am aware that these videos have helped people, because it's a hell of a thing when you start noticing things aren't the way that you've always remembered them to be. And it hits you like a ton of bricks. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It had me sitting there in the couch for a couple days going, what is going on here? And I know some of you had that same feeling, because it hit me hard. Some people kind of remember, yeah, maybe that, I don't remember that being that way. Or, you know, just a few little things. But when you get hit hard with hundreds of them all at once, it's a heck of a thing to deal with. And those of you who have always been in this reality, you have no idea what we've been dealing with. You have no clue, except you just got your stupid little comments that come out and just say, oh, you got a bad memory, and, you know, why can't you just deal with the fact you can't remember things, and all that stuff. I just hate even repeating it. So, that's kind of the long answer, Gene. I mean, this is a difficult thing. We can't just ask people what they think. Sally Fields may think she's always been Sally Field. I mean, Sally Fields said, you know, you like me right now, you like me. That's what Sally Fields said in 1984. Well, I remember a Sally Fields with an S who said, you like me, you really like me, and that's what people have been repeating my whole life. So this is a very difficult and complicated thing. But it's a thing. It's happening, okay? It's really happening. So, on to the synchronicities. Yesterday, a lot of you know I'd been driving for Uber. I had the cubicle life for 15 years as a pricing analyst. Done with that in the grocery industry. Totally done with all that. I don't want any part of it. I don't want the commute. I don't want to be a slave to the corporate slave master. I don't want to, you know, why are you 5 minutes late today? Where's that report? All that. I just don't want any of it, okay? Certain people don't agree with my choice. My choice is to be independent, make my money my own way. I'm saving for my own retirement. I don't need some little company retirement that could be taken away at any point. The government's going to be going after all the $15 trillion in retirement money anyhow. We get $20 trillion in debt in this country. And I don't want to start getting into the finances, but we're $20 trillion in debt. We owe more money than any country on the planet. Probably all of them added up together. And so, I believe they're not going to go after gold and silver again. Most people don't have real money. They're going to go after that $15 trillion in retirement accounts. They're going to say, oh, we'll give you a guaranteed bond here, but we need to dig into your retirement accounts. So, I'm doing my own thing. I want to be my own person. I don't want to be getting on my knees as some big corporate giant. I'm just done with all that. And certain people, you know, around me, they don't agree. But that's the way it is, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to make it work. It's going to work, and it'll be okay. So, on to the synchronicities I've been talking about. I've been having them for, you know, most of my life, where I'll have like a plastic bag blowing in the wind in front of me, and then the song will say, you know, like a bag in the wind, or in a plastic bag in the wind, or something. You know, it just like as things are happening, it comes on the music. And then someone will say, I'll hear something on the radio like, I'll be back, the Arnold voice. And I'll walk into work, this was a couple of years ago, and I walk in, and within like 10 minutes, someone stands up and goes, I'll be back, and they're going downstairs for a break. I never heard that, but I just happened to heard it right after I heard it on the radio. It just, things synchronize, okay? They synchronize together. So recently, I went to dinner in San Francisco, and my mom was concerned about parking. I said, don't worry, we'll get parking. We pull up, and then I drop them off. Say, I'm going to go, you know, get a parking spot. Boom, right there, front spot, right where you have to park blocks away normally. They just pull out, and I park right there. Closest spot to the front door of the place. All right, this is good. Had excellent dinner at a Peruvian restaurant. My wife's Peruvian. It was her birthday, so we're having some great Peruvian food. Then, it was a few weeks later. I was in Walnut Creek, if any of you know where that's at. Parking's usually horrible downtown. On the way there, I said, I'm going to get the closest spot to the door. We're going to pull right up, and we're going to park in the closest spot. And my wife and son, you know, I don't know if they believe me or whatever. But I told them it's going to happen. So I get there. I've never been there. It's on a corner, and the two streets on the corner, there's no parking. So what I envisioned happening couldn't possibly happen. But what happened? I went around the corner, and the very closest spot available to the restaurant was wide open, waiting for me to pull in and smoothly park. And I don't, you know, it's coincidence for a lot of people. That's all it is, just a coincidence. But it wasn't coincidence for me. I don't see things as coincidences like that. It was wide open available. My aunt parked blocks away in the garage because the parking's so horrible. I got the closest parking spot to the restaurant. That's what's been happening lately. Things have been really good. I've had some rough patches. You know, this has been difficult, everyone, because not everyone understands what's going on. It's been a difficult thing. But things are good. I'm starting to realize we can create our own reality. That's what this is all about. You create your own reality. But you have to understand it's all on you. You know, if you get upset or something and you blame someone else, it's not on them. Everything is on you. You are in charge. You are in control. You need to change you. If you're having problems with someone else, change you. Don't blame them and say, oh, well, you got to change over there. If you change over there, I'll be happier over here. No, that ain't what it's about. You got to change you. You are a very powerful creator, and that's part of what this is. We're realizing that. So work on changing yourself, and things can get better for you. You can create whatever you want. And that's what I'm working on now. It doesn't happen in a day. You have to wholeheartedly believe in this too. It's not something you go, oh, I'm going to try this out. Well, I'm not sure if it'll work. No, it ain't going to happen that way. You need to wholeheartedly believe that it's happening because that's who you are. You're a powerful creator, and you need to realize that. And that's what this whole 2012 thing and this whole blood moon thing that I covered that ended in September when the Mandela Effect took off. Everything's connected. It's all connected. It's an incredible time to be alive, everyone. I can just feel the energy coming through me as I'm talking about this. It's just so incredible. That's like my favorite word the past few months. It's awe-inspiring. It's just, life is such an incredible thing that we're here experiencing, and what's going on now. You know, I've totally turned off all the negativity. I don't want to hear nothing about Trump and Clinton, and I don't want to hear any of that. It's all fixed anyhow. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear any negativity. I don't want to hear any bickering and fighting on reality TV and all this. Nothing. I'm only looking for what aligns with the happiness inside of me, which I'm trying to, you know, attain whenever I can. I want to be happy, and I'm not going to entertain anything that has to do with negativity. I'll turn away from it. I don't want it. I'm looking to align with my higher self, which is telling me that I can be happy and that I can have the life that I want. And heaven on earth is right here, everyone. It's at a different frequency level, and you can raise your frequency and you can be there. I believe that. So I hope this message helps people. I've been wanting to do this message for a while. This is totally off the cuff, everybody. This not written, nothing's written down, nothing's planned. This is just me and you sitting here. Please leave comments. Let's, you know, give some information down below to help other people out, because this is a difficult thing, and I'm happy to be able to help people. There's people who say, you do this for money. Yeah, I get a little bit of money. It's not much at all. But I put a lot of effort into my 600 and something videos, and I don't feel bad about taking 100 or 200 bucks. It's like 100 to 150 bucks a month is what it's been. It's a little higher now, maybe 200-300 bucks a month. It's not huge money, and I don't feel bad about taking it because I put a lot of work into these videos, and I know a lot of you appreciate them. You've told me that. So that's it for now. There'll be more videos. Take care, everybody.